Kick it
Hmm.
off. And good morning or afternoon to everyone. I don't see anybody from overseas, so I don't suppose it's evening quite yet. If you are from outside North America, please give me a shout so I can properly recognize you. We appreciate that. Um, I have a question for you. I need your help. I know there's only a handful of us here today, but does anybody here use CrowdStrike? Going once, going twice. Okay. Um,
I don't.
CrowdStrike is next in our radar. We've had a lot of people after their little oopsie recently um, ask for us to do a little bit more monitoring in their particular application. Flip right in. Um, so if that's on your radar as well, please let us know. We'd love to have some conversations about that. Ben, anything else as far as applications coming down the pipeline that you know of that I don't?
I don't think so, but I've seen some weird images in QA and dev, but I don't know, you know how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. It's not real until it hits the production.
I could have sworn I
Um,
saw Discord in there, but that would be hilarious.
that would be. Did you see? Speaking of those things, GitHub is finally forcing everyone's token to expire every week.
Yeah,
Think of all
no.
these tools that we use that sort of are finally getting around to requiring MFA, sort of are doing token flushes now. Sort of the side kind of thing we've been talking about for years.
We are supposed to be putting the Authenticator app in our um, platform finally. I think
OTP, wouldn't that be fun?
I think that's
Yeah,
coming like the next like what month, couple weeks.
yeah. No, I would say that's going to happen in October without a doubt. So anybody that's still using SMS, we're going to have something better for you right shortly here. Um,
Which is us.
you know, we're about a year in. This is a friendly bunch usually. Is anybody here not using the Kaseya One credentials to log in? Is anyone still using just Microsoft or I guess everyone's using Kaseya One. Ben, you log in with 42 different identities every day. Microsoft. Thanks, Sam. Hey,
Hi,
Tina.
Tina.
Hey guys.
Um, Microsoft. Appreciate it, Brad. Um, Tina, do you use the Kaseya One credentials to log into the platform or are you still using Microsoft?
I don't think I ever used Microsoft. I'm using Kaseya One across the board.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I was just kind
Was
of
there
curious because
a problem with it this morning?
no, no, no.
Oh.
For anyone who's still using SMS, we've got some updates coming. They're going to make your lives a little easier,
Mhm.
and so we're happy about that. It's small changes, it's small incremental changes. Um, but I know the guys who actually run it's actually called the Kaseya One OS. They've got some things. Bro, broke your environment, James. Oh,
Good times.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, Yeah, SaaS Alerts integrating our
Uh,
security model with the big Kaseya security model was a source of many things, none of which were dull. Well, cool. So I know there's some evolutions happening on that part of the world that really aren't going to affect us, but I'm glad to see that some people are using it and some people are still using Microsoft. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, Ben, one thing I have heard floated is App Wizard coming back to life. Now, anybody who knew us back, 2 years ago, we had a, thank you, Alan, good to hear about it. We had an effort to give you the control. If you have an application that has a viable API, wouldn't it be nice if you could decide what to pull out of the API and present in alerts? Um, Couple of things, some expansion got underway, but that's actually coming back to life. So I don't want to promise any new applications, but the ability to quickly and easily bring applications in if they have a robust API with good syslog data. Um, I don't want to promise that in October, but that is going to happen this year. That's come back to life with a vengeance, as they say.
What's that Microsoft thing they were talking about?
You know, that was
Or
actually news to me. And then I
are we
did a little
allowed to talk
research
about
on it.
it?
Well, I mean, it's a Microsoft product.
It's true.
So who here leverages Microsoft's APIs directly? Yeah,
Who loves writing graph API queries?
exactly.
Not
Isn't that
it.
the funnest thing ever? Um, yeah, apparently there's an easier way to do it. Microsoft has had this around since the end of 24. Um, so,
Mm,
more than 6 months. I haven't seen anybody leveraging that. Well, we're going to look into more of what Microsoft is offering in their APIs
mm.
via that API thing, whatever. I don't even remember what it was called, Ben. You'd have to keep me honest
Microsoft
here.
Event Hubs.
Event Hub. Event Hub.
Yep.
Is anybody leveraging Event Hub? Three, two, one, not it. Hear as much.
So there's a catch. Well, you want to tell them the pros? I'll tell them the cons.
Ben, I've been talking for 10 minutes straight. I think it's your turn.
I mean, you have a much nicer voice than I do.
Yeah, me too,
Uh,
Sam.
so Microsoft Event Hub, basically, everybody's very much aware that Microsoft sets speed limits on the number of times that we can query their API without getting throttled or kicked out or whatever, or flat out banned. Well, Microsoft Event Hub is not limited to that because instead of uh, us querying them, they query us. And that is one of the first things that the app wizard will do. It'll basically be a way for you to use a Microsoft Event Hub to send us data and I'm gonna say near real time. How about that? Like as fast as they show it probably in their system, they will give it to us. Which everybody knows there's always a delay, and that goes for every vendor. But here's the catch. Microsoft does not give away such a service for free. It'll be a charge, most likely from Microsoft in order to enable this. I don't think there'll be one from us because it's the same data, right? I can't imagine, but I mean, I don't know. But Microsoft will basically, I think from what I can see, it's a subscription thing, kind of like Entra or Azure or whatever you want to call it this week.
Is this per Microsoft instance or is this
Yeah,
per?
most
Okay,
likely. It'll be
yeah.
let's see, they have pricing. Let's see,
Curious if
there's
there's a difference
no
between a
upfront
five-man,
cost.
piano tuning shop, pay as you go. Thanks, James. Yeah,
Yeah,
Azure
Azure
credits.
credits. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
if you
if you're interested, here's a link, which I don't know why they still call it Azure here and Entra and other places. So I will, I guess you get to pick. But anyway, but yeah, that's their thing. That if you do have those clients that can't afford even a 15-minute delay, that they want it to be immediate, then that will be your best option.
that is good to know. I didn't realize that was part of the caveat was you're actually paying for
Yeah.
faster access. I think there are plenty of our larger partners that would pay for faster access. But
Yeah.
what's the difference between a five-man piano tuning shop and 100,000 seats in a school? There's got to be a price point change in there someplace.
I would think it'd be on based on volume, if I'm not mistaken.
It would make
James,
more
maybe you
sense.
can you can weigh in on that. If this one looks like it's based off of looks like some storage retention you get with their at least their basic plan. Yeah, it looks like you're charged per, for capacity,
Got it. That makes sense.
ingress
Like some of
events, like
the big
it's like
seams, how much data you
yeah,
ingest,
like
that's what
it's
you're charged on.
0.028 cents per million events. So hopefully it won't break the bank.
Okay, what's 1.2 billion events every day multiplied by that, Ben?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you're but I mean, I think the bigger companies that need this sort of real time, event ingestion are going to be the ones that can afford that sort of up cost. But when it does come out, just know that as far as I know, it's same from us, but it will be when we say it costs extra, we're usually referring to Microsoft.
Got it. It's good to know. So some questionable answers coming out of Microsoft. What will this cost? Will it cost how much?
I
Or
know,
fall in
right?
love with this service and we'll change the price next week. Um, but I will offer this, yeah, is the whole framework, the structure, the concept, the ideas um, is evolving in the best way that we can to provide the most data to you guys. Again, there's at the most basic price point, and App Wizard is very much part of that. Even if we are not neck deep in an application, if I can get you the basic syslog data, hey, these credentials were used in Uzbekistan, this guy got promoted to an admin, you know, whatever it is, that's what we're really trying to get you, at least the very basics out of every application out there that has an API. So look for some more noise on that around Microsoft and everything else. And Ben, I do need to correct you with one thing. There
Mm.
is one company out there that doesn't throttle, that doesn't have counts. You can make as many API calls as you want to their API. That's SaaS alerts.
Self-promoting.
It is. We made that decision in
Yeah, someone asked
wireframe.
me that the other
Was
day.
yeah, no, that was Chip. That was all Chip. He said he was just
Yeah.
tired of paying for access, and he wanted to build the system in such a way that you guys weren't penalized by pulling data. And I appreciate that in general.
So Brad had a good question. Oh no, Brad. Who was it? Oh, maybe it was. Yeah, Brad had a question about how is your integration with Ninja One as it relates to Unify? Do you recommend them in general based on the accessibility of their API? We are considering moving to them from ConnectWise RMM.
Let's talk about APIs. Ninja was actually interesting because they use SOAP instead of REST for a while. That's evolving. So we're having to evolve with that. And I will say this, I don't know, I've never had to, I'm lucky. Unlike Ben, I've never used any of these products sitting in your chair and having to consume that product. But I can say this as a business partner, they've been receptive, they've been helpful, they've given us test instances, they've given us support around their APIs when we've had questions. And as a software vendor, I can't ask for more than that. So I do like Ninja for that. Um, it's funny, years ago, a decade ago, I was actually I kept an office in the city here in San Francisco, um, and I was literally in the same uh, building, same room as a bunch of the guys who were starting up Ninja back then, starting up the West Coast
Mhm.
office. So I don't have any more perspective on that. Gosh, they seem like nice guys. They bought beer, right? Um,
They're nice guys. They always
yeah,
have Legos at the shows, so they win.
excellent. And they,
But I, I was like, but we're not allowed to promote other RMMs, are we, Anthony? That's against the
I,
rules.
I,
You
I
can get in
am, I
trouble for
am
that.
certain to have a frank and honest discussion about other applications is not going to get me
Mm.
fired. And if it is, then it was nice knowing you all. No, I mean, seriously, there's a lot of
Yeah.
good applications out there, and SaaS Alerts has always been agnostic. We want to monitor everything. Rocket Cyber is the same way. They're monitoring Barracuda and a bunch of
Mm.
other third-party things. We're monitoring Ignite and what's the other RMM tool? Oh, I've forgotten it. Sentinel One um,
Yeah, in Central.
and Central as well. Yeah,
Mm.
both. We're looking at both versions of that. So I just want to get you guys the data that you need, regardless of what tool you've landed on.
Yeah, I commented on one of their YouTube videos and they reached out and said, "Hey, we're looking for someone to come in and talk about Ninja and the things you can do with it and stuff like that." I was like, "Yeah, I think my non-compete would
That might be a
probably get
tiny
in the way of
conflict.
that." I was like, "But I do wish you guys the best of luck and you have a fan over here. I've used their product. We switched from Automate to Ninja back at my old MSP, and they were really great to deal with. They have an awesome community, which kind of inspired me to work to making sure that SaaS certs had the same kind of community. which was the whole, I pushed the Discord server and getting a place for
Mhm.
people to come together. And it was really inspired by Ninja. They
That's
have an
awesome.
awesome dojo, basically what they call it. It's only accessible by partners, and it's a way you can share scripts and everything. As if you're like me and I was coming from Automate, I didn't know anything about PowerShell. All of my automation and scripting was done through Automate's drag and drop system, which didn't do me any favors or teach me anything other than how to use Automate's scripting system. But the ability, the opportunity for me to learn PowerShell was awesome. I really appreciate
That's
that.
very cool.
And they had a bunch of people that said, "Hey, I wrote this script. It does this, 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 and here you go. It's free." And I was like, "That's awesome." So,
That's very cool.
but yeah, as
Um,
far as Unify, they pull in we pull in a whole lot of data from them. We pull in pretty much a lot of the machine data. It can be used to correlate, events in Microsoft to RMM devices. So Ninja was one of the first ones, I believe, that we integrated with, like, if not the first.
they were one of the first RMMs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, they made it easy, you know.
Oh
So
yeah.
we have some partners out there, hey, like CrowdStrike. We would love to monitor them better, but they won't give us an NFR. You know,
No.
I guess I can sort of see it. I don't think we're in the same space as them. Maybe there are other parts of Kaseya SKUs that are. So I could see their reticence perhaps. But we do appreciate any application that is helpful to the community, not just
Yeah.
us specifically, you know? Um,
Yeah.
so
Atera
Brad,
was a PSA. It was another vendor that we tried to work with, and they were like, yeah, you need to sign up for a subscription. And we're like, we're trying to help everybody. And they're like, sorry. It's like, okay. It's like, well, so not all
uh,
vendors want to play nice.
that is true.
And some of
Brad,
them played nice before we were purchased by Kaseya, and then some of them not so much afterwards because of the competition, which is understandable.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Brad, glad you enjoyed the feedback and the wild and woolly discussion. I hope let us know where you land on that, man. Seriously, you know. One thing I will say is if you're on the platform, Brad, go to settings and excuse me. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I saw that that check by. That's some interesting stuff that Kelvin's doing. Not that anything he does is exactly boring, but um
Yeah,
just
I took a lot of inspiration from some of the scripts on Cyberdrain when I was putting Ninja in place.
Brad, one last thing. Yeah, go to the platform, go to settings, and look at all the different customizing alerts. You can sort by the applications there,
Oh, cool.
and you can see everything that Ninja presents in their API that we're pulling down. So compare that with what you've got now, and that might give you a little bit of guidance about what we are seeing, which is what you're seeing.
That's pretty cool. I wonder where he's getting his telemetry for the plugin.
Yeah, I did some reading on that a couple weeks ago when it
Hmm.
was sort of in a soft launch, and it was pretty interesting. I don't know
He
where he's
doesn't
getting it
support
though.
Firefox. Boo. Just joking.
Hunter's gave him fishing examples, right on.
I would be interested in like spinning up one and just seeing how far it went. Like, is it looking for specific code? Is it looking for like IP addresses or website like domains? So I think that'd be kind of cool. I'll have to try that out. Or is it looking for simply like anything that is not Microsoft's domains or IPs? That'd probably be an easier one to hit.
You know, Ben, what you just said is exactly what Tina said a few minutes ago. Hey,
Yeah.
I got a piece of software. Nobody can give me the answers. I got to beat on it until I can figure the answers out myself. How much of this is what we really do here as
Mm,
IT professionals is figure out what works and what doesn't. Speaking
that's
of
pretty
what
cool.
doesn't work, oh, right on, Brad. Um, um, Ben, did we get anywhere with that subject that Amanda was talking about yesterday?
Yes, they are trying to get that. They're going to put that in, I think, before Thursday.
Excellent.
But
So
I
next
am
week,
fine to
I want you
happy.
to look.
Do you want me to show it? I can show it now.
Yeah, let's have a frank
Okay.
discussion because here it is. we had something that we have literally been asking for 4 years, and Dev delivered, except
Yes.
I don't want you to use it till next week.
Well, I mean, you could use it, you know. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. So, this is email forwarding rule enabled. So if we go into the details here, uh, you'll see a lot more information about the activity that's going on with there. So, in the past, you know, adding RSS and archive and everything wasn't going to do you much good unless they named it archive or RSS. But now it will, because as you can see here, we have a lot more detail about the event. So that is in the description details. So if you're
What they call
looking,
the JDA, the Joint Description Additional, if you
hmm
hear the developers talking about that.
yeah, but no more code, no more like IDs, something like that. Amanda did say that they used, you know, kind of best effort to get this information, and I have not seen it fail to produce. But she said there are some situations where it may not look as pretty as this, but all the ones that I've attempted has done amazingly. So
Now, two things here, guys. When we get the alert that someone has set up email forwarding, we then have to go query. We get those long GUID type strings. We have to go query the Azure instance itself and say, decode this. What was the name of that actual rule? What was the
fun.
name of the user who did it? All of that information. And with Microsoft being Microsoft, this is not instantaneous, which means that you could have someone build a rule and then you're getting the alert. And by the time you get the alert, they've renamed the rule, they've deleted the rule. And so when we run our query, hey, the rule was created, let's go decode that. That decoding fails because the rule has changed or the rule is gone. Now, that's kind of an edge case. I don't know a lot of people that create rules and then delete them immediately. They might change them as they edit them pretty quickly. But the net effect here is, and this is something I've asked for since the months after I started. Can you tell me if an email forwarding rule was set to go to a domain outside of my own? And now we can filter on that. If it does not contain at SaaS Alerts, if it does not contain at Bob's Burgers, that's the kind of thing we're looking for here. And I think that's the power.
So this would be a good example of a rule that will now work very well with that new information. So if you did not want or cared about the name, you could do something like that. Uh, should I talk about the gotcha?
I think let's be honest with the
Okay.
candor with this group has always been appreciated, going both ways, Ben.
Good. Well, so this is something that is being worked on. So I want to show you. Let me flip it up real quick here. This should be in production hopefully by Thursday when Amanda drops this information on the SASE call. So you guys are getting this information before that. Uh, in the past, your your typical rule would have looked something to this effect, right? So says inbox rule blank has or inbox rule period has been created, and that tells you that somebody created one with a period, and since our database ignores punctuation, it pretty much just says any periods, any special characters, blah blah blah. But when you're looking at this message right here, uh, when you're looking at the original event, then you'll notice that this text is no longer there. So that is a problem, right? So for you crew, it might be a good idea for you to kind of take a look at your events. Just know that they are working hard to get this in production immediately. We pointed this out to Amanda shortly after the change was rolled out, and she saw the issue. If we came up with a solution, that should work. And if there does need to be changes made, to rules, I believe we can also do that pretty quickly, but I think she came up with a good solution. But basically, if you look here, uh, the new format is the person that's created it has enabled rule name blah 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 at whatever, which does not align with the this right here. That makes sense.
To
So
me, but I've
yeah.
seen this a couple of times now. Anybody
Yeah.
else have any questions?
Yeah. So um if you do want to, obviously this rule has been very effective on catching bad guys, especially ones that create bunches of periods and stuff. Uh, add these two right here, these two filters to that rule. Just to honestly, it's going to improve your protection. You don't need to go back through and change this. Yeah, you don't have to go back through and change this after the fact because it's okay to leave the rule in there. And when this is fixed, it'll be more effective. And this will just add just more protection to an already really good rule. But
Tina,
what
I
I
agree with you. I think external forwarding should be blocked, but we have enough partners where there's a use case. They've got some business reason why that has to exist.
yeah, totally.
So,
Oh, there isn't.
No, there isn't. But anyway, I don't know if you guys noticed, I did matches pattern, star archive star. So that pretty much just says anything that surrounds the word archive will trigger this. So something to keep in mind. I'm using the patterns here instead of contains. If you use contains, the stars won't work. I don't think. Unless I'm wrong. So, but yeah. Anyway. Yeah,
that's
man.
a two-step process, Tina. I do like that idea, but again, I have to build this for all people, people like you who make great decisions and those other folks. So, um, any questions on this before I jump over to Sam's question about advanced filtering? Mm. Like I say, anybody's able to join us for or as Ben said, anybody's able to join us for the SASE call. We'll give you a little bit, a second demonstration, sort of hammer this in and show you any new tweaks between now and 48 hours from now. Um, Sam had a good question, Ben, about how we're better able to more accurately filter based on Microsoft ASNs rather than the old workaround, which we have actually depreciated even on our YouTube channel, saying, don't use this.
I know, right? Okay, so as it stands now, power filters and advanced suppression are completely two different modules. Power filters strictly only applies to outside approved location events. And advanced suppression also has the ability to do outside approved location. But what's happening is you're seeing we have several different file events. I think there's like 5 of them. And the outside approved location gets tagged onto those events when they trigger from outside approved location. And if you use advanced suppression, you can only select one of those 5 file events. So if you come up and if you select outside approved location, you're still going to have the file events triggering. So the best thing to do is to come in here, still under power filters. Eventually, these two features will be merged, but Adam knows the issues with outside approved locations with advanced suppression. So this is still the best way. So what you would do is you can come into settings under power filters. This is tenant wide. This is for everybody, all organizations. You can turn off the inheritance of this, but this is a good place to start. What you would do is you would do like say, hey, I don't care about any Microsoft data center. So I'm going to do Microsoft Corporation. One thing you'll notice here is we'll say, hey, big yellow text. Well, I have to do the rest of this. No, you don't have to do the rest of this. You can just hit add, and that says anything that's Microsoft Corporation ASN will not trigger the outside approved location. It is only the outside approved location. So if you had somebody creating a mailbox forwarding rule from Microsoft Corporation.
Off MFA, anything.
Exactly. Yeah. It's that this doesn't apply to that. That's where advanced suppression comes in. Think of it as advanced suppression as your way to address false positives, whereas this is a way for you to establish approved locations or ASNs. Like, you can still do obviously you have the country ability and the IP addresses up there, and then you have the ASNs down here. But
Sam, is that tracking? Is that sort of, give me a thumbs up at least?
or thumbs down. The other places to do this are under the organization itself. So if you go into edit organizations, you can do power filters. This is a power filter for this particular organization. And then you can also do it for accounts. So you can do it on a per account basis as well. Some people will go the extra step and say, I'm only going to do the Microsoft data centers that are in these particular countries. It's totally up to you, but Microsoft, from what we can tell, load balances all over the world. So you may be chasing your tail a little bit, but there are also, downsides to saying all of Microsoft Corporation is okay for outside approved. So it's
There is a
yeah.
non-zero chance that a bad guy will take over somebody's VM inside a Microsoft data center and at the same time have credentials to attack one of your clients. It's an edge case to an edge case to an edge case, and then we'd have to actually catch them via activity once they're in there. So this is really only just that initial IAM event that you could possibly, million or infinite
But
number of monkeys
basically,
could
the
miss
power
that.
filters are only covering the outside approved location.
Correct.
Okay.
100%. Like I said, they will be merged in the future so that advanced suppression and power filters will be the same thing, and you'll be able to accomplish the same kind of tasks. But as it was told to me by one of our partners who said, "Hey, I started using advanced suppression for the outside approved location, and it still came up with a different file event." And I was like, "Yeah, I was kind of afraid of that."
Yeah, that's what we were running into as well. And I was just wondering why that toggle didn't seem to be doing what I expected it to do.
Agreed. I told Adam about that too, and told him about and he said, "Oh, okay." And then, so it's something they are working on. It's something that they'll need to address in order for advanced suppression to completely replace power filters or whatever.
Great question. Thanks for bubbling that up, Sam. You got everything you needed, Ben?
Yeah, but there's a lot of changes coming to this too. I think the ability to edit some of these is coming. The ability to create these ahead of time is also on its way. With DataCon on its way here in a couple of weeks, I wouldn't expect anything huge to be pushed to the platform. They usually do that intentionally because the last thing they want is to make this huge code change and everybody be at DataCon being, yeah, everything's broken. So
Or the
I
guys who
know,
are demoing it said, hold it, that
I know,
wasn't there
right?
this morning.
I
Yeah.
know,
Not that
right?
that's ever happened to
That has totally never happened. We've never done
um
that at SaaS Alerts.
yeah.
like,
But
like
I
demoing
think
something and
that's
be like, oh, that's cool. And be like, you never seen that before? Like, no,
you know,
this is new.
I think that's just one of those things that
That happened in Global.
nobody ever told us to stop doing that. So we just kept doing it,
Oh, I know, right?
And I'm meeting with a partner
Mm.
later this week who is a legacy SaaS Alerts partner, cannot stand Kaseya because he has his reasons. And I have to try to explain to him that this product is continuing to do exactly that. Hey, here's a neat, sexy idea. Let's try it. Okay, that worked about 90%. Okay, well, we'll fix those bugs as we go because we want to deliver that value just as soon as possible. And in more than one way, our little startup world here is infecting how the rest of Kaseya is doing business. And I think it's all to the benefit of the community and the benefit of our partners that are on this call. So that's not the company line. That's my own personal opinion, just from what I've seen. And the funny thing was, Ben, I don't know if I mentioned this the other day. Um, this last month, in the last calendar month, actually, last 3 weeks, I've
Mm.
had three different partners come to me and say, something has changed at Kaseya. What are you guys doing? They're blaming us. I'm like, no, no, no. This talent, this drive, these really sharp and capable people were always here. Their focus maybe wasn't exactly where it was, but it's not dull. There's some really good stuff happening at all levels in this company. unless you want to change your entire billing system, but that's another story.
You guys are awesome, and you're the reason I'm here. So thank you for
Well,
that.
thank you, Tina. I
Oh,
appreciate that.
thanks.
That's why we do this. I mean, again, if this wasn't fun, I don't think most of us from SaaS Alerts would still be here, and most of us from SaaS Alerts are still here. So,
It's true.
um, guys, I know that was a far wide-ranging conversation, and we've had a couple people jump in about halfway through. Does anybody have any questions about their environment, about any of the new tools, any configurations that we can talk about in IOCs or Fortify or anything?
We could talk about my Fortify stuff if you need something to talk about.
I
Ben?
always like talking to you. Tina, tell me where you're finding things that make you smile and Fortify, and what's making you bang your head on the wall.
Well, I've been pretty lazy in there. You know,
Been like,
I went like hot and heavy when I first met you guys and watched every video that Ben has ever put out and
oh
configured it
gosh.
all myself because I'm stubborn and bullheaded and I need to learn it myself. But then I got
Mhm.
busy with other projects and I never touched it again. So it was recently, I can't remember, there was something we had where I never did turn on the automated responses. We were just monitoring and reacting on our own. We had Rocket too, though, so they were reacting. Um, so there was some incident that happened that sent me back in there to turn on some respond. And then, of course, as you know, I'm managed now, which is amazing. I don't have to think about anything. And we haven't been focused on the Fortify side, but Kayla and I, some of you guys might not know, but we're pretty small. So we do a lot of things manually and we like to do things manually. We're like anti-automation, we're like perfectionists and don't trust anything. So when we go on our Office 365 missions, they are missions. Like we log into each of our tenants and adjust these settings. So when we came across Fortify, it was like, whoa, this is great. Like we can push this stuff out from here. I still have beef with only being able to select 20 clients at a time, though. That drives me insane. So we have a recent mission of some settings that we want to adjust in there for all of our tenants to harden it a little bit more. So I was checking specifically the do not allow end users to register applications because we have that set to no. That has to be an approval through IT and through management to register any enterprise applications to the tenant as it should be. So we had it set to do not allow, but then I got excited in Fortify one day and pushed, I think, one of the controls from there and didn't customize it. And I think I overrode it or changed it, or it could have been when Microsoft changed the location of that setting. Do you guys remember when that happened? It used to be a different spot. So it might have reset when Microsoft changed that. I don't know. So I was asking Ben about this because I was worried that my Fortify, whatever it's called, job that pushed the setting that allowed end users to register Microsoft approved apps might reapply and change my hard work of manually logging into all of my tenants to check this recently. But I think we determined that's not going to happen, right? Only if it's part of a template. But it might be good information for other people on here that aren't using Fortify yet.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as I know, we don't automatically apply anything on a regular basis unless it's in a template. So with yours, Tina, it was we have this application permission or consent or whatever that has to that can be pushed out. I think it's great, but there's like 3 levels to it. There's like completely not turned off where everybody can load whatever they want to, and then they have the one that's in the middle. It's like only verified publishers, and then they have the one that's like super strict that Tina wants to use, which is nobody can load anything unless I approve it. Which I say, if you can get away with it, do it because it's just going to save you a lot of the approved applications are being used maliciously. Like Perfect Data Software is a perfectly legitimate software, so is EM Client. But they're verified publishers with Microsoft. So unless you're monitoring it, it's not a bad idea to disable it. So, hey, if you want to enable something, you have to get my permission first.
It's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Not everybody can get away with that, but everybody can get away with at least the verified publishers. Because a lot of
Yeah.
those
And
ones
you,
that are being those fake apps are not verified publishers. Obviously, they're handcrafted, and Microsoft's not approving them.
You guys remember the Adobe one that actually looks
Yes.
like Adobe? So
yeah,
Yes.
can you Google that app ID to find that
Mhm.
out, or where do you? Yeah, yeah, okay. Because we were just we do what we did before we locked it down is we did a review with every client on the tenant, kind of like a asset inventory, hardware, software inventory. We did an enterprise application inventory with our clients and said, you need to approve these. You need
Mhm.
to see who's using them, and then we're locking it down. And if you've approved it, we'll leave it. If not, we're going to blow them away. Which was a super valuable exercise to go through because some people don't even realize what they're linking their Microsoft login to, right? But yeah, seeing
Oh
those
yeah.
ones, it was like, oh, how do I know if that's legit? Because it uses the icon and it uses the
mhm.
correct information. It's just the app ID that you have to verify, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you can change they can change the icon to be whatever you want it to be, and that's what they rely on. And you can name it whatever you want it to be because they're not verified publishers. So yeah, that's why I
That's
don't think
where
anybody here could not get away with doing verified publishers for that, unless you're pushing out some sort of custom app to Microsoft. Then I think everybody can safely enable that without too much screaming. And you're right,
absolutely.
Tina. Most people don't go through and audit that list. Like I remember the first time I did, I'm like, this was loaded like 20 years ago. If you lose this since then, they're like, I don't even know what that is. So I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and remove you because you have permission to do everything.
Yeah.
And you can even see what users are using it. So it's
Yeah.
and what permissions it has. So it's a good, yeah, it's a good review for sure. But that
It-
setting in Fortify on the default, I
Hmm.
think everybody can just push that and feel good about it.
Oh,
I
for
don't
sure.
think it has any issues.
100%.
It really is. Yeah. For anybody that's stuck, not being able to turn that on for any whatsoever reason, get creative with Respond. We've had a number of partners that said, you know what? If somebody tries to connect an app and it isn't one of these three titles, lock that account. Or
Yeah.
if it's anything except this, send me a notification. There's a couple of different ways, Boolean wise, to get there. That seems like a lot more work than just blocking, malicious content, suspected malicious content. Um, because even when we went through the process to get ourselves verified by Microsoft, it was checking a few boxes. I'm not going to say it was like, we had to get the attorneys involved in compliance and, show them our SOC 2 to it. None of this. It was it was actually pretty easy. So I think that at the very least, locking it down to approved applications is exactly the bare minimum. It's right where you should
Hmm.
be.
Can
100%.
you
And
show us
then
what the respond rule would look like too, if you were to just alert on that?
there's a great example in the templates that talks about perfect
Okay.
data software EM client. It's like, hey,
Oh, oh
if
yeah,
this is detected, then lock it down. Flip
right.
that to be if it does not include Adobe, if it does not include this ID, if it doesn't include this approved name.
Okay, makes sense.
There's
Yeah, I know the
one.
EM client one. That was like one of the OG Ben
Yeah.
videos, YouTube videos. So that was one of the first ones I put in. But I only specifically was looking for EM client, and they changed the name of it, right?
Perfect
Uh,
Data Software is the one that
Perfect.
changed their name. It's
Yeah,
called
like mail
Mailbox
backup or
Backup or something.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something really,
Yeah.
really generic. Yeah.
Hmm. But there's two events that you want to always hit. You want to hit the application integration, and then you also want to do the OAuth because the OAuth will tell you is it being used. Because if it was installed before you onboarded this client, you may not,
No.
unless you're auditing their list, then it's good to know, hey, I see it being used. I can go to remove it, or I can see it's being installed.
Yeah.
And yeah, this one's good,
To be
and you
clear,
could just add other apps to it.
yeah, that SaaS integration alert, that's the very first time. That's set to medium, I believe, in our
Mm.
platform by default. Now, OAuths, those happen thousands of times a day. So you'd be inundated if you had that set to anything but low. But there's a nice little distillation over on the reporting side of the house of everything
Oh
in
yeah,
that date range, which is the shadow IT report. It's the
yeah.
forward application details report. I would say, especially when you're prospecting, use something like that to get a nice quick overview of what's in use every day, because it'll distill those tens of thousands of OAuths down into just a few bullet points.
Yeah, there's
The shadow IT report right in the middle of your screen.
Why do I always miss it? I'm going to
Or
search
in
for it, aren't I?
application details. Do I have to get
Oh,
out my pointer, Ben?
maybe you do.
I miss Rainhold. We used to have Ben's little test instance in our sales
Well,
environment, and somebody
problem is
broke it.
all the sales guys started enabling all this stuff and locked me out. So I was like, so this shows
Yeah,
you
so
all the apps that
and
like,
this is basically your top 10 offenders who OAuth into the most stuff. That's always kind of fun on a call. Who in your organization uses OAuth to get into the most things? It's
mhm.
almost never who you expect it to be. There are people out there that are utilizing that functionality all the time. And then you have the top 10 offenders here. But what I really like is that third party app pull down in the middle there. Um, if you have more than 10, that's the only place you'll see them all. In this case, there's only what, 6 of them or something. But
Yeah, this is a
oh,
good
oh,
example. This
yeah,
is
what the hell is that?
it's an open source email archiver that you can connect to Microsoft and basically pull down every single email in an entire environment. It's completely open source.
Yeah, that one should probably be on the list, Ben.
It's not the list. It's perfectly normal. I don't know what you're talking about. Crazy.
Well, no, it's a perfectly legitimate piece of software, just like perfect data.
This is not the droid you're looking for.
Yeah, Sam, I agree with you. Usually it's the people in who have to get in and out of SaaS alerts a lot. Absolutely, Rich. And as a reminder for anybody that's new to this call, this is going to be stored on YouTube. So feel free to go back and peruse those.
Mm,
You're going to hear us make the same 6 bad jokes week after week, but there's some good
or
stuff. There's
7.
some good content in there, usually from other people, not us.
And good jokes from other people, not us.
Exactly. No, yeah, we have our Laurel and Hardy routine, but that's about it.
See, this is a good one too. Like this one has you can run this report
Yeah.
on all the mailbox forwarding rules in an environment, and I think that's kind of cool.
That's actually a newer report, and a lot of folks have found that handy when they're prospecting to understand who's going to be the problem child. Which of these users is a heavy email forwarding person? Or, if I were to sort by rule name, how many of these? Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad, Rich. Yeah, I was pretty happy about this.
Yeah, look at
Um,
all the periods.
that's exactly it. Exactly it. How many people are
Oh,
using garbage characters
this one's maybe
that
not so
if you were
normal.
to onboard them, your automated rules might get some attention from them. So maybe there's your training opportunity. Use contextually accurate names. This forwards all of my know before
This is
emails,
normal.
marks them as read, and dumps them in my trash can so I don't have to deal with that.
This is
We've seen
normal.
those email rules exist.
I don't know what you're talking about. Everything in this list is perfectly normal. Oh, that maybe not this one.
It's not so normal. Hey
I
guys,
haven't
got
been to
about 10
report so
minutes
long.
before we have to bounce. Tina, thanks for bubbling that up. Tina, one thing I did want to mention, and everybody should know this. Not every control in Fortify allows for this, but some of them do allow you to put it in alert only mode. So you could put it in place without breaking something, watch for the alerts, see who it would have fired against, take that for a test drive um, without actually, impacting the end users. So I would say take a look at that when you're doing all the configurations right before you apply.
This is a good one too. The Fortify audit, if you're wondering, hey, did something change with my environment? Did SaaS apply something automatically? The Fortify action audit will tell you everything that's been done for a particular customer over a certain time. So you'll see a lot of these, this initial recommended action created, but you're not seeing like applied or anything. So just something to keep in mind.
Well, that's great. Again, it's all that data has always been in there. If I can give you a report to snapshot it cleanly, Even an engineer likes a quick, clear answer at times. Oh, you should never check that. One of my
Always
favorites,
checking.
Ben, is to go by admin status, top right.
Admin status top right. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's always fun.
Ha.
How many of your admins are using what kinds of authentication methodology? That's always fun during onboarding calls to show people that. They're like, hold it, what? No,
Hold
that's a
up.
co-managed. Why does she still have, those sorts of revelations? And that really is the point of the exercise is as many details and as granular as we love this, sometimes I need a red or a green bar to tell me something quick and easy.
Something blocked my account to figure out what the heck happened there. I knew I wasn't crazy.
I kept trying to log in with this.
That's
Press
why you have
nothing.
to have that. That's why you have to have like a lot of backup admin accounts because I get locked out all the time.
Oh, for Ben, that's funny. It's like one of the IOCs is in the community templates is, hey, did somebody log in using PowerShell scripting or Perl? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
I
wrote that
know
one.
so many engineers that do this. We overcomplicate our lives just to be amusing to ourselves or whatever reason. So you're not wrong, Sam. I have often said I'm really glad Ben wears a white hat um, with his um,
I used to love doing capture. I still love capturing the flags. I used to love doing try hack me's. I haven't done one in a while.
you're working hard, man.
Well, by the time you
Maybe,
get done blue teaming, it's like you don't want to do anything else, and it's like I'm tired. Like I watch a movie.
maybe you just need a change of scenery. Go buy another house or something,
Okay, we'll do. I'll get on that. I'm supposed to go Friday, so it'll be fine.
Oh, guys, we're heading towards the top of the hour. Anything else that's top of mind? Anything we can cover for you guys? I know we've talked a lot, but thanks for the good questions. We appreciate it. Again, anybody who joined us late at the top of the hour, I asked if anybody is using CrowdStrike and is interested in helping out with our beta, give us a shout. Reach out to Ben or I directly, reach out to your account manager. We're always happy to have that conversation. That's one of the next high value targets on our list, let's say.
Very good.
I want to thank,
What was
sorry,
that?
Rich, did you say something?
It is very good. It's good to
Excellent.
know.
Yeah, no, we don't rest on our laurels for long around here. Guys, I know I probably won't see any of you in Miami since I'm not going to Miami,
I
but
am.
anybody who's going, you are?
Yes.
How did you get volunteered for that?
Ryan said he said I want someone to come up on stage with me and do like something with me, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
Oh, I'm gonna miss it,
So
man.
I'll fly
Now I
in
want to
on
go.
and I'll
Anthony,
fly in. I'll
Ben,
be
you're
in
coming
Sunday.
now?
Yeah. Well, that and
Anthony,
Roman really wanted to get me to help him with something. So okay.
get in there, Anthony. We
I
need you.
I know. I told people don't spend the political capital. My department doesn't go to these things, and they're like, no, we should. I'm like, no, don't do it. Now
Now
I
you've
love
got
watching Ben
to.
on stage.
Let's
All right,
work on
guys. All right, I'll work on that just for you, Tina. Just for you.
You
Guys,
guys.
again, this is always a pleasure. This is one of the few meetings a week that I never want to miss because of you guys. I appreciate the good questions. I appreciate the feedback. Keep it coming, and I look forward to talking to you again Thursday, in maybe in Miami or again in 2 weeks. Y'all take care.